just pick everybody up? He's starting over. Hold on, Mr. Young.
Good evening, Katie. Can you hear me? Okay, just put your thumbs up. I can't hear you.
We're working on it.
I can hear you, but you're on mute. So I think you're picking up through someone else's mic.
Yeah, that's correct.
I'm sorry.
You would be on mute on your computer.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. I'm on mute on my computer because we're using the speakers in the room. And the
I can hear you. It's a little, I'm gonna just turn up my volume.
I can hear you now.
You can hear me?
Yeah, you're low, but I can hear you.
Is it a reason why he's low?
You're low too, Mo.
Is it the mics? Okay. They're working on the mics. Sorry about that. Thank you for your patience.
That's better.
That's better?
You sound better now.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. All right, so Dr. B. Coates is going to pick up where he left off with giving his superintendent report.
Good evening. Hopefully you can see the superintendent's report. Thank you. I appreciate your thumbs up. We have a couple of items that we do want to share this evening. First, starting off with COVID updates. We have some exciting student highlights. We also are going to celebrate some successes that have occurred since our last meeting. We have some special thanks, and we also have some announcements. I do want to start with our COVID updates. Some of you may be familiar with this map. It highlights or shows the level of community transmission within Delaware County. You will note that at the bottom of this graphic, it shows that if you are dark red, you're in high transmission, substantial, yellow is moderate, blue is low, and it also indicates whether or not there is no data available or if there's no data available. It is important to note that on the left side of this graphic, what we show are the total number of cases. This is through February the 26th. You can see that the change in the number of cases in the last 7 days has definitely gone down, as well as the total number of deaths. When you look at Delaware County, Pennsylvania, we are in the stage that is identified as substantial. We also see that we have 352 cases as of February the 28th. Our case per 100 is 62.11%, which gives us a positivity percentage of 5.49%, which is very low based upon some indications. The CDC also provides us with some COVID data tracking, which provides some information which looks at the number of cases as it also relates to the number of as it relates to the indicators that are being used. So that would be new COVID-19 admissions and percent of staffed inpatient beds. So in our county, we are in the medium range based upon the data that is available as of February the 20, I believe it was the 26th, if I'm not mistaken. So what's happening in our schools? You will note that we definitely had a spike in the month of December of 128 cases. In January, there were 119. And in the month of February, I'm pleased to share that number is 10. And this is through today. And so we're really, really pleased with that number and the number of cases. You will note that in some schools, the number is 0. So as most of us are aware, the CDC did provide guidance as it relates to mask mandates. We know that the cases are going down, and based upon our review of the current data, we are recommending that the board review and potentially modify our current health and safety plan based upon the current data that we have available in regards to COVID. Now, moving on to student highlights. One of the exciting times of our evening. We're going to start with Alden Elementary School. We have Ali Monserrat, who is a second grade student. You can see they've taken his name and put some qualifiers beside his name. So Ali, I'm sorry, we congratulate you and thank you for what you're doing. Keep doing great things in the second grade. Next, we have Joella Njak Adabone, who is a kindergarten student at Ardmore Elementary School. You can see that she is resilient and determined. Congratulations, Joella, and keep doing what you're doing in kindergarten. We have Trinity East Gales, who is a fourth grade student at Bell Avenue Elementary School, distinguished honor roll student, as well as a hard worker. Continue the great things that you are doing, Trinity. We have Tiana Jones, who is a first grade student, doing well with some decision making, and she is positive, reliable, as well as friendly. Congratulations, first grader Jones. We appreciate you. We have Subria Carey, who is a sixth grade student at East Lansdowne Elementary School, goes above and beyond to help her classmates. And she's not only intelligent, but she strives to do her best. Congratulations, Subria. We next have Kayla Poole, who is a fourth grade student. She has demonstrated excellence in academics, class participation, kindness, and helpfulness. Thank you very much, Kayla, for what you do, and congratulations to you. Next, we have Lyric Chance, who is a sixth grade student at Park Lane Elementary. Lyric is the class president. She is a natural leader, and you've assisted with coordinating sixth grade goals. We thank you very much for your leadership and what you are doing in Park Lane. Next, Walnut Street Elementary. We have Anaye Jones, who is a sixth grade student, excellent role model and leader in her school. Thank you very much, Anaye. Next, Penwood Middle School. We have Hawa Konate. She is an eighth grade student. She's been a distinguished honor roll student since the seventh grade. Keep up what you're doing. We're very, very proud of you, young lady. Penwood High School Cypress, we have Josh Amerson, who's a ninth grade student, diligent student, helpful and kind. Penwood High School Green Avenue campus, we have Calissa Beckett, who is a 10th grade student, takes on leadership roles and reads the daily announcements. Thank you very much. And it says that's a position that's normally held by a 12th grade student. Thank you very much. You are definitely ahead of the game. And I'm really excited because this is our first time recognizing a student in the personalized learning community. We have Farrad Downing Terrell, who is an eighth grade student. He is getting straight A's. So congratulations to you. And we want to say congratulations to all of our students that we've recognized this evening. Great job. Some other areas of success, not only is it in the classroom with our students, we are also excited to share with individuals that Mr. Stacy Clayton from the Penwood High School is receiving the Excellence in Teaching Award provided by the Franklin Mint Federal Credit Union Foundation. This program or this ceremony will be in April of this year. He will receive $1,000 toward educational expenses, and $1,000 will be awarded to Penwood High School. So Mr. Clayton, we thank you for what you do at Penwood. And our boys basketball team, head coach Matthew Lindeman, man, keep doing what you're doing. We're so excited that our boys qualified for the state playoffs. And you can see here, tomorrow, Penwood will be playing Haverford. If you click on the Haverford Athletics live stream, that'll take you directly to the link and the live stream. So we wanted to make sure that all of you were able to access that information. I had the opportunity to visit Alden Elementary School during this month, and I wanted to share with everyone here what Alden did for Black History Month. And so please take a moment and enjoy the video. And we're hopeful that the video will work. There we go.
Good afternoon. This is Principal Watson Bowie at Alden Elementary School. I'm so excited to have you here today to see our Alden Elementary School Black History Gallery Walk. This gallery was inspired by some of our staff, our PCAs and our IAs, as well as our homeroom teachers and our students came together to celebrate Black History Month. And what we have here is we have a story that unpacks throughout the building, from the beginning of the building where you meet our griot, who is a storyteller. And the griot traditionally tells the history of African stories from generation to generation, and in the clouds and the smoke, it tells the story around the people, and it goes through, and he's the person that holds the history together. So as you walk from every part of our building, you will see represented the struggles as well as the accomplishments of our Black history in our students, in our community, and school.
I took a tour through Alden Elementary School, and I thought that the exhibit was very beautiful. Each class really well pointed out the art and Black history and their different takes on it. I enjoyed it. I didn't get to read through everything, but it's definitely some things that I learned.
Bessie Bloughton was like an inventor and a nurse, and how she made an electric self-feeding appears for amputees.
Poetry as our form. So we used Amanda. She did the inauguration poem. So, and then I do poetry. So I put up one of my poems, and then we use all famous Black poets over here. So just to bring everything together. And we also, I just wrote a poetic quote with a picture that we let the kids color in over on their wall.
We know that knowledge is power, and we make sure that we pass it on to the next generation so that they can know we respect ourselves and others, and we as a community have contributed positively to American history.
Thank you, Dr. Boyd, and those individuals' names. I really appreciate what you all have done. Also, I want to share with you that the school district has provided and continues to provide wellness and social emotional learning support to not only students and staff, and these are two individuals that we've worked with. Here shown on the screen, Coach Rudy, he's done PD sessions, and we've also a continuing PD session provided by Malika Diggs related to race, equity, and inclusion, and that is supported based upon school requests and school needs. Now, on to some fun things that we also did since our last meeting. There were some of us who participated in the Polar Plunge. We had a great time. I think we did great with fundraising. We raised more than $2,100, and the goal was only $500. So that's a plus. Shout out students. And then here's a picture of those of us who decided to take the plunge. So there were only 3 of us in among the board and myself. So next year, let's double that number to 6. I'm not going to say which 6, but if we can get 6, that'll be great. So I challenge you now for next year's Polar Plunge. This is very, very special to me. I actually received an email from a student at Walnut Street Elementary who said in his email that he wanted to meet me for African American for Black History Month.
Oh,
That really, really touched me. So today I made sure that I spent some time with Nicholas. To the right, you'll see the questions that he had for me. Had an opportunity to share something about myself, my bio. He wanted to know, how did you become a superintendent? And so it was really a great time. But even more importantly than that, this is his community to the left. His mom and dad were there, his teachers. And so I really, really appreciated the opportunity of meeting with Nico. And that's what this is all about, supporting students and their families. So Nico, congratulations. I hope you and your parents are also watching. Yes. As some of us may know, Read Across America Week is February the 28th through March the 4th. And I just want to encourage anyone in our community to please spend some time, if you can, reading to our students. And I do want to thank our state and local officials, district administrators, board members, and others who will be visiting classrooms and meeting with students. As it relates to announcements, there are a couple of them that I have. Kindergarten pre-registration is coming up March 1st through the 31st. We're going to be pushing this hard this year. If you have a child that will be 5 years old by September the 1st, 2022, please follow these instructions. We want your child registered. And we will be doing some other things in our community before the end of March to support your registration efforts. Also want to remind individuals that Kenwood Middle School presents The Lion King. I don't know how many of you know Judy Jordan, but she does some awesome work. And let's just give her a round of applause. Judy, we greatly appreciate what you've done. I think I was able to go see my first in-person production of In the Heights. That was an awesome, awesome production. And I will be going to support the school to go see The Lion King, and I encourage us to do the same. And I believe we also have the Culture, Climate, and Engagement Survey coming up. It will begin on March the 14th. It will go through the 31st. We will be sharing more information about this. This is an item that's in our strategic plan. And this is really being done to get feedback on how we can improve and how we can improve or enhance, if you will, not only the climate, but the culture and the engagement within our school district. FAFSA completion night, very, very important. If you are a senior, it is going to be very, very important for you to make sure that you get this information and that you've completed your FAFSA. So we will have another meeting held on Wednesday, March the 23rd at 6 p.m. The necessary information is here, and you have the appropriate links. Lastly, I just want to remind board members that in September of 2021, we did share information about the Black Lives Mural project that would be launched between the William Penn School District and the Lansdowne Borough. I wanted to let you guys know that we have been working on that. The mural painting will be a community activity. And I just wanted to share with you that this was birthed out of, if you will, the mural that was done in Norristown. And I would like to share that mural with you so that you could see this video so that you can get a depiction of what this would look like or something similar to it within our district.
And what makes America great happens on the street, and also what has happened on the street are some really unfortunate circumstances. So to be right on the street where everything happens, to actually create healing in the street, is what we're here to do today. The idea came from Norristown. They were inspired by a mural on the street in Cincinnati.
The inspiration came from notable figures from the past who have paved our future. So we wanted to make sure that we made a tribute to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and John Lewis, and also lives that have been lost.
A lot of things that have been happening are, a little uncomfortable, especially for people to talk about. No matter what color you are, we got to really talk about it.
You can see I'm a black artist standing with a white male doing this project. There's a reason for that. We want to create a place of community and growth so that this way we can all move forward together as a community and not just harp on one or the other. We want to be a whole. And there's only one way to do that, and it's to move forward.
We're taking a risk at bringing more colors to it, but also the metaphor behind that is that it's not going to last forever. And that's just like this movement and everything else. It's not going to last forever unless we stand up for it. It'll deteriorate. So it's up to us to continue to be that stand for restorative justice.
I wanted to give the board an update as to where we are with that and what we've done. We actually sent to the high schools. We had a Zoom session with both with the high school, both campuses, and everyone was provided information about being able to volunteer and being able to give feedback and input on what the actual mural would look like in our community. And so we took 2 pictures. These are my meetings with the students who said they would volunteer and wanted to give feedback and input. So I've met with the students. We have the modifications that we will be making. We will continue to work with the artists. And the plan is for the painting to occur June 13th through the 16th. We need to follow up with the Lansdowne Borough, and we will continue to update not only the board, but our community as well. That concludes my report for this evening, and thank you very much for your time and your attention. And Madam President, I will turn the meeting back over to you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Biko. So can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second. Any comments or questions? Okay. Oh, all those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone against? Now we would like to, now can I get a motion to approve the minutes from the business meeting, January 24th, 2022? Committee meeting of the whole, February 22nd, 2022. Thank you. Who's going to second? I do. Okay, thank you, Joy. Any questions or concerns? All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? All right. And our school board student reps, Mr. Paul Vandy, Mr. Muhammad Bangora, and Jayla Wise. Are they here today?
Here, present.
I'm present.
Hello.
I'm here.
How you guys doing?
Good. I'm doing fine.
Doing well.
Well, that's good to hear. So let's start with Mr. Vandy. What update would you have for us today?
First off, hello everyone. Good evening. And I guess one update I have is that I wanted to talk a little bit about course selection. So in the high school, at least, I know for the past few weeks or like a week or two, we've been like working on like a lot of students have been working on course selection, picking what courses we want for next year. And I've heard from different students they have some concerns about how we go about doing the course selection. And I also had some observations I wanted to share with everyone. So my first thing was that I feel that when we do the course selection, it kind of you kind of spring it on the students. And what I mean by that is like we don't, as a student, at least me personally, I didn't really know that we were going to be doing course selection until like the day we started. So I kind of walked in not knowing, and the teacher's like, "Hey, what classes do you want next year?" And I was kind of surprised because I feel like I didn't get the ample time to maybe do research or look into and see like what classes exactly how I want to structure it. So I feel like one thing we can kind of work on is like letting students know ahead of time that like, hey, this might be the week we're doing course selection. So like, get ready, go through the course selection guide I know we have on the school website, and kind of like, think about what we want. So you don't feel like as soon as it's sprung on you and you're already moving on a deadline to pick exactly what you want. And another thing I heard a lot of students are saying is that they're worried that mostly about like scheduling release next year. So like I'm in a junior class, so a lot of students are taking like, AP classes. They want to get ready for college, want to be like, competitive going to colleges. And they feel that like they're worried that they don't really know they're not really informed on how they're going to like block into classes, so they're not sure like, oh, what classes I can or cannot take, that might like block other classes, make it so I can't take certain classes, and that can be like a lot of really confusing for a lot of students. Because like you want to make sure you have a certain class, but you don't know if you might be like causing conflicts with other ones. So I feel like if there's any way that we can like any way that can make that a little bit more clear for students, like maybe not like exactly what periods, but like generally like what periods these classes are, so like you can know like, okay, if I want to take like this class, I know that I can take that free and not be worried that I might be conflicting with another one I may be taking. But those are really the observations I kind of saw. That'll be it.
Thank you, Mr. Vandy. Dr. Because you want to respond to this?
I have made a note of that concern, and we will definitely follow up with the school administration to see if there are some things that we can do to better support our students through this process for this year. But yeah, I definitely made a note of it, and I will provide the board with an update on my findings.
Okay, and thank you very much once again, Mr. Vandy. Now we're going to go to Mr. Van Gore.
Good evening, board. I have more of a question compared to update. This was based off the data that was shown about COVID cases. Do we feel like removing masks from schools is a step to the right direction or the wrong direction?
I think that's a very good question. My belief is that we should follow the guidance of the CDC and other health experts, as we have done in the past and up to this date. And that is, I've asked the board, or I think the board will be considering or taking under advisement that data and that information to make some decisions as it relates to our safe health and safety plans too.
Okay, thank you.
Also, Mr. Van Gore, do you have a comment on that?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear exactly what he had said.
With regard to mask or no mask?
Can you repeat that?
Do you have a comment about no mask or mask?
Oh, I feel like if we remove masks, I guess it could help better with like socializing with people, but at the same time, I don't know if like COVID cases will rise during that time, because you know how some people aren't vaccinated and some people are, so it's like you don't know which direction like you're going towards. So I just had that question.
Thank you very much, Mr. Van Gore. Definitely appreciate it. And your question is needed. Mrs. Jayla Wise, you have the floor.
Good evening, everyone. There's only two main concerns that are happening at Cypress right now. So again, I brought this up in one of the last meetings, I believe, but definitely a lot of students have shown that they want to be at the library, but due to us not having enough staff to be in there in the library with us, there's not a lot of time that we're not able to really spend time in there. And it's generally to like see the books for either something that we have to study for, especially for classes like law and government. So there's definitely that concern that I've seen a lot of students at my school have. Another one, and kind of to go off of what Paul had said, definitely for the course selections, because they didn't really explain it to us as well as they could have, with the explanation of if we take this class, we wouldn't be able to take any other class, especially. Like an example is that if we took AP psychology, we wouldn't be able to take anything else, but they didn't explain that to us when we did the course selection, and they only told us afterwards. So I feel as though that could have been delivered a little bit better to us. So that's the only two main concerns for my school.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Wise.
Yeah, we will definitely follow up again on the scheduling piece. And I know that we've had some conversations about the library, still have not reached a decision point, but hopefully something will occur sooner rather than later, maybe sometime in the month of March.
All right, thank you very much, student representative. We're moving on to special awards.
Yes, ma'am. Certificates of appreciation are being presented to school board directors by Pennsylvania State Representative Joanna Clinton, Mike Zabel, Virginia Young, Gina Curry, in honor of School Board Director. The state representatives who serve the boroughs of the Williamson School District extend their deepest appreciation for everything Williamson School Board members do to prepare students for successful future, both as individuals and as citizens in our community. So thank you to the board members and thank you to the representatives for their acknowledgement.
That's really nice. So we're going on to any public comments with regarding agenda items. Any public comments regarding agenda items? So I'm looking for hands raised or comments. All right, does any?
I see
Thank
one,
you.
Sandra
Thank you so
Brown,
much.
right?
Okay, there we go. Okay, Miss Sandra Brown, you have the floor. Good evening tonight.
Good evening. I just wanted, and first of all, this is Sandra Brown Wright, and I just wanted to, in recognition of the School Board Director Month, thank the members of the school board for your efforts and your time and just the diligence that you have done throughout the year, especially with us adjusting to COVID and so many new things. But I know you all work hard, and I just wanted to thank each and every one of you. And of course, I have to take a moment to extend a special shout out to my husband, Robert. I just really appreciate, honey, all that you do along with all the members of the school board. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Wright, for that. Thank you.
And I did have a second comment. I really enjoyed the presentation, letting us know about all the wonderful things going on at the schools in our district. Is the gallery at the Alden School, the Black History Gallery Walk, is that something that is available to the public following CDC guidelines? Is that still available to view?
I think it is, Ms. Wright. We will follow up and give you a response tomorrow
Okay.
as a confirmation, but I believe it is.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right.
No, ma'am.
All right, next we're going to go to our committee reports. We're going to start with our community relations report. Ms. Richardson, you have the floor.
Thank you. Community Relations Committee agenda. Informational items. A1, Williamson School District Cultural Climate and Engagement Survey. And in cooperation with the Williamson School District Strategic Plan focused forward 2025 and action strategy on the goal 2. Surveys have been developed to get feedback from students, staff, and families about their experience with their school and the school district. The survey will be completed online and the responses are confidential. The information we receive will be used to help make improvements in the educational experience and build stronger relationships. Surveys will be available from March 14th through March 31st, 2022. Families will receive a letter during the first week of March by way of U.S. mail with information including the family survey link and the student ID needed to log into the survey. We encourage everyone to provide honest and thoughtful responses to the survey. So please take the time and complete the survey. We welcome feedback. A2, Penwood FDLA competes at regional conference. Our students competed at the Future Business Leaders of America Pennsylvania State Chapter Regional Leadership Conference was held virtually in December 2021. Our students were Naomi Larden, won first place in organization leadership. Lorinda Savin won second place in human resource management. Adias Gannett won third place in advertising. And Rabia Saku won third place in economics. All 4 students have qualified for the state competition scheduled to take place in April 2022. Ms. Denise Casu, Penwood Spanish teachers advised for the Penwood School FBLA chapter. And congratulations to our students who completed. The members of the Penwood chapter are Rabia Saku, President, Naomi Larden, Vice President, Saria Joe, Secretary, Jamil Namars, Publicity, Mary Churchill, Jada Devine, Emily Smith, Caitlin Tong, Lorenda Savin. So congratulations to our students who did a phenomenal job. And thank you. You make Penwood proud. Thank you. A3 is a kindergarten pre-registration for the 2022-23 school year. The pre-registration school year will take place from Tuesday, March the 1st to Thursday, March 31st, 2022. And this year, the entire registration process is remote. And a parent is no longer required to come into the office to register a child. The child must be at the age 5 before September the 21st, 2022. The process allows for email communication between the family and registration department staff. Upon completion of the registration application, uploading of the required documents, parents and guardians will receive a summary of documentation that has been uploaded and confirmation that the application is complete. So if you have questions about the registration process, contact the registration office or call 610-284-8805 extension 1232. And there's a list of required documents that is needed. In addition to the requirements, foreign-born students must have a complete physical by an American doctor and a recent negative TB test. The Pennsylvania law requires students to have all necessary immunizations by the 5th day of school. Any student whose immunizations are not complete within the first 5 days of school must be excluded from attending school. That ends my report.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Richardson. Now we're going to go on to our, oh, sorry, no, we're not.
No, just discussion. There's no motion.
Okay, so are there any questions or comments from the board of directors before we move on? Okay, any questions or comments from the public?
No.
Okay. Now we're going to go on to our education committee agenda. Ms. Valco Kunry.
Good evening, everyone. Education Committee report. The contract with General Healthcare Resource LLC. And I will read the statement here. GHR will assist the William Penn School District to source and place contract academic professionals or personnel on contract assignments, including but not limited to clinical and non-clinical personnel. These can include but are not limited to paraprofessional, teachers, assistants, nurses, counselors, teachers' aides, psychologists, therapists, as well as other academic professionals as are needed. Our district solicitor has approved the form and contact. And there's a chart in this report indicating the amount that each contract is expected to receive for RN $58, LPN $48, paraprofessionals $26, psychologist $95, physical therapist $75, occupational therapist $75, speech language pathologist $80. And the motion is to approve the contract between the William Penn School District and General Health Resources LLC as indicated above through the end of 2021-2022 school year. B2, the William Penn School District 2022 spring athletic schedules, and those attachments are included, and the motion would be to approve the William Penn School District 2022 spring athletics schedule. So, yes, can I get a second?
Second.
So before we go call for a vote for B1, there were questions that Jen had asked about data. And I just want to make sure that your questions were answered with regard to data with regard to B1. Before we vote on it, because there was data that you requested, and I know there was some information in Friday's update. I'm just not sure if this answered the questions that you needed before we vote on it. That's all.
Yes, I do. That actually wasn't my question, I believe. Yeah, we're good.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I believe that was a step.
Okay. Stay. All right. So we will move forward. Now we have to, all those in favor of.
We didn't move the motion.
Yeah, there's a
Who seconded made the motion?
Mr. Tom.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. All those in favor? Aye. Those that oppose? Okay, thank you very much. All right, going on to our Personnel Committee agenda, Ms. Wadia.
Good evening, everyone. The superintendent recommends the following personnel actions. C1, retirements. A, professional staff, Jody Leshner, who's been with the district since September 2nd, 1997, and Diane Schumann, who has also been with the district September 21st, 2009. B, support staff, Deborah Fletcher, secretary, who has been with the district since July 31st, 2000. And the motion is to approve the retirements as indicated above. And I would again like to thank these individuals for their years of service with the district and wish them well in their future endeavors in their years of retirement. C2, resignations. C3, appointments. C4, leaves of absence. C5, miscellaneous appointments. C6, modification to previously approved item. In addition to the agenda, C7, modification to previously approved item. I'll read this: administrative staff title correction. Name Tara Brown, Assistant Superintendent of Academic Services. Previous title, corrected title, Assistant to the Superintendent of Academic Services. C8, miscellaneous personnel items. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Ivory. Need a second, okay. All those in favor? No. Are those, thank you. Are there any questions or comments from Board of Directors for the Personnel Committee agenda? No questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone against? All right, thank you. Moving on to our property committee agenda, Mr. Combs.
There are no property committee agenda items this month.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Combs. Moving to our budget and finance committee agenda, Jen Hoff.
Right, E1 President's Report, E2 List of Bills, E3 General Obligation Bonds, Series of 2022. The Board of School Directors of the Williamson School District, Delaware County, Pennsylvania, known as the school district, is hereby authorized administration to work with PFM Financial Advisors, LLC, as financial advisor, Ray James as underwriter, Eckert Siemens Sheriff Law, LLC as bond counsel, and Sweet Stevens Katz and Williams LLP as solicitor in conjunction with the new issuance of general obligation bond series of 2022 for the purpose of funding the new money needs of the district with approximate amount of $9,995,000. Purchase of switches, wireless equipment, and uninterruptible power supply devices. This is through our E-rate system. I'll read the motion. The motion is the Board of School Directors authorizes the purchase of switch equipment in the amount of $67,000, etc. from E+ Technology pursuant to PPM Master Contract. The administration will apply for the E-rate funding on the equipment. The district qualifies for an 85% discount reimbursement on eligible equipment, which is approximately $57,000, etc. The net cost to the district is estimated to be $10,000. Motion B, the Board of School Directors authorizes the purchase of wireless equipment in the amount of $437,000 from E+ Technology pursuant to the PEPM Master Contract. The administration will apply for E-rate funding on the equipment. The district qualifies for an 85% discount reimbursement on eligible equipment, which is approximately $371,000. The net cost of the district is estimated to be $65,700. Motion C, the Board of School Directors authorizes the purchase of uninterruptible power supply equipment in the amount of $75,000 from DISYS Solutions pursuant to the PEPM Master Contract. The administration will apply for E-rate funding on the equipment. The district qualifies for an 85% discount reimbursement on eligible equipment, which is approximately $64,000. The net cost to the district is estimated to be $11,700.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions or concerns from the Board of Directors at this time? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Those against? All right. Going to our policy committee agenda by Ms. Joy Hopkins.
Good evening, everyone. F1, second reading of amended policies 100 and 101. 100 is strategic plan programs under the programs heading, and policy 101 is philosophy of education, also under the programs heading. William Penn School District amended policies have been written by the Board of School Directors and have been reviewed by the superintendent and the solicitor. Each board member has received a copy of the above named policies for review and follow-up discussion. As required by district policy, upon approval of the first reading, these policies were entered into the minutes of January 24th, 2022, with a second reading and adoption presented for approval at the February business meeting today. Motion is to approve the second reading and adoption of the William Penn School District amended policies 100 and 101, and to enter such readings into the minutes. F2, first reading amended policies 102, 103, and 104. 102 is the academic standards under programming. Policy 103 is discrimination Title IX, sexual harassment affecting staff and students under program. Policy 104 is non-discrimination in employment, school, and classroom practices, again, under programs. William Penn School District amended policies have been written by the Board of School Directors and have been reviewed by the superintendent and the solicitor. Each board member has received a copy of the above named policies for review and follow-up discussion. As required by the district policy, the interest of these policies into the minutes constitutes the first reading, with a second reading and adoption to take place at the March public board meeting. The motion is to approve the first reading of the William Penn School District amended policies 102, 103, 104, and to enter such readings into the minutes.
Got a second? Okay. Are there any questions or comments from school board directors at this time? No, hearing no. All those in favor?
Aye.
All- Thank you. All those against? All right, hearing none. All right, so we're going to go on to our solicitor's report.
Thank you. The only report is that there was an executive session this evening at about 6 o'clock to discuss 3 different personnel items.
Thank you, Mr. Khan. Now we'll go over to any old business, Mr. Khan?
No old business.
No old business. Okay, can we go to new business? All right, we have one item on new business. It is for a resolution in support of the PA school funding litigation for fair funding. The motion is to adopt the resolution supporting the parents of individual children, the school district, the Pennsylvania Association of Rural and Small Schools, and the PA NAACP State Conference and their suit to enforce Pennsylvania's constitutional guarantee of a thorough and efficient system of public education, and urging the Pennsylvania General Assembly to provide a fair, adequate, and predictable funding system that enables all children to meet state academic standards and does not discriminate against low-wealth school districts.
Second.
Oh, wait, you can make the motion.
I move that we adopt the resolution supporting the parents of individual children, the school districts, Pennsylvania Association of Rural and Small Schools, and NAACP State Conference in their suit.
Second.
All right, any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? All right, hearing none. Okay, now we'll go to our reports with Delaware County Community College. Mr. Wright?
All right, thank you. Enrollment updates. Enrollment update by the sponsoring school district is included here below. The enrollment reflects the students' enrollment in Delaware County Community College from spring 2022 to January 31, 2022. The first school is Haverford School District, 390 students enrolled. Edinburgh, 332. Radnor Township, 118. Ridley, 407. Rose Tree Media, 256. Southeast Delco, 449. Springfield School District, 291. Upper Darby, 1,397. William Penn School District, 485. Chester Upland School District, 309. Wallingford School District, 50. And that brings the total of sponsoring school district 4,500. Next would be dual enrollment. Haverford Township School District, 21. Edinburgh, 11. Radnor Township School District, 1. Ridley Township, 56. Rose Tree Media, 8. Southeast Delco, 3. Springfield, 11. Upper Darby, 39. William Penn School District, 17. Chester Upland School District, 32. And Garden Valley School District, 3. And Wallingford Swarthmore School District, 1. Bring the total of 203. I do have a comment on that. Hopefully, we will find out. Usually, the William Penn School District has been a leader in this area in dual enrollment. I've been saying that for the last, hopefully, couple of years. Is there any way that we can communicate with the guiding counselors and teachers and parents, and maybe have a a meeting, maybe I can have Delaware County come out, because it's a great program to deal with affordability, where students, instead of starting in their bachelor's degree, they could be starting as sophomores instead of freshmen. And also, we deal with affordability where we'll be able to save money. So it's been a great program. And I see some school district has improved in that area and begin to see the value of that. So hopefully we can find out how we can, put this out and get our students and parents more involved.
Mr. Wright, for our dual enrollment, you said 17?
Yes.
And who was the top for dual enrollment? What school?
The top was Ridley School District, 56.
Well, 56? Okay.
And at one time, Ridley wasn't a top. So they began to see the value of this program.
Gotcha. Thank you very much.
And concluding that I had something, I'm not too happy to report today that Dr. Joyce Gate Black will be retiring. She was the first female and also the first Black president of Delaware County Community College. She will be retiring June the 30th, 2023. So hopefully one of the things I was very proud of that she implemented was the Vandy Question School, which is in progress, and hopefully that will be completed before she retires. And I'll definitely like to see us definitely involved in that project.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you very much.
No, you're welcome.
Thank you very much. Next, we will go to our Delaware County Intermediate Unit report from Ms. Joy Hopkins.
No report at this time.
No report. Next, we'll go to our Delaware County Legislative Council from Jen Halford.
Thank you, Ms. Boyd. There are two important things that the Legislative Council discussed on February 9th. One is the hearings on the budget taking place. If you are a cable provider, you get PCN for free. If you're a cable subscriber, so check them out. It's a very favorable budget for the William Penn School District. Second, we also talked about the court case closing comments are March 10th. I believe Dr. Because also will be present. And then after that, the lawyers have some questions that they need to answer by early this summer, and then the judge will deliberate. So we'll probably look at September, October-ish for a decision on this leg of the case.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jen, for that information. Yep. Are there any questions or comments from the public at this time? We have Ms. Libby Brown. You have the floor at this time.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening. Good to see all of you back in the boardroom. Mr. Wright, I just wanted to ask, how are you, by the way?
I'm getting better.
Good, that's good to hear. I wanted to just clarify, because I came in on the part where you were talking about the numbers with DCC. Is this the like, which dual enrollment programs are you specifically talking about? Is it like the ones where they take the courses at night, or is it the waste management and the manufacturing ones?
Oh, the dual enrollment that we apply at Delaware County Community College.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure those numbers, and those are the numbers from this year, or are they from last year?
So this year. I know.
Okay. Because I want to make sure I have the information for you, because I know I want to, and for the rest of the board, because those numbers, we'll talk. But those numbers, I think they're a little higher. I do think your idea as far as having parents, like for a parent night, I think that would be good. But because for the first time, probably in about 2 or 3 years, we had DCC come out to speak to the kids, and they put on a presentation about dual enrollment. So that was about maybe a month ago, and it was really helpful for them to see the why. And so I think we can take it a step further to then do it with the parents as well. So
that'd be great.
I am listening and hearing your suggestions, but I want you to know I think those numbers are a little low, but I will double check those for you.
For the record, you know I really miss you because they were very hot on you, the guiding council.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate the guidance is still in me though. It's still there.
I know.
But I appreciate it, and I'm going to check on those numbers for all of you guys because it's a really good program, and the kids see the benefit once they're in it. But I think they need to be even seeing that in 7th and 8th grade, like striving, like I'm going to have my GPA ready to go because you're paying for college credits. A lot of districts have stopped doing that. So the fact that we're still doing it says a lot. And so we'll push and do as much as we can. But I just wanted to say, you know, thank you for bringing it to our attention. And I miss you. All right, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Ms. Brown. Next, we're going to go with Ms. Marie Louise Faber. Ms. Faber, you have the floor.
Hi, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So I just wanted to share a comment. I did send an email, but I wanted to share it with the rest of the board members about the mask mandate. Dr. B. Coates, I know you mentioned that you're looking to follow the CDC. As a professional that's supposed to be following the CDC as well, we don't. Sadly, the organization has dramatically gone downhill over the years. They don't follow the science. They've become extremely politicized. So I caution in following their guidance. They don't have the best interest of the public in heart. I'm not sure where they're going with what they're putting out. I'd also strongly encourage the board to think about how quickly we're changing policy. There's no reason to let go of masks and some of the other measures that are keeping us all healthy and safe. The evidence for the vaccinations for 5 to 11-year-olds is extremely poor. The effectiveness of the vaccines because of the lower dose doesn't seem to be as positive as it is for the older kids and the adults. So that's concerning. The vaccination rates in children of all ages, 5 to 18, is very low. I think these are all reasons to, again, stay cautious. We have a lot in our community that are immunocompromised or have other, issues where this virus could severely hurt them or their families. So again, I really ask you all to take the guidance of the CDC with a huge grain of caution and think about moving forward. Let us coast maybe for 2 months. We've got spring break coming up. See how things go, hopefully in the right direction. But I really ask you not to rush into any policy changes. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Faber. Are there any other questions or comments at this time? Okay, so with that being said, Board of Directors, there was one more thing that in your emails today, Dr. B. Coates did discuss with us about the new CDC requirements with regard to our mandate, with mask mandate. So I wanted to give the opportunity today. We were not going to vote on this. We made the decision not to vote because that information just came out to us. So I wanted to make sure that Board of Directors had the opportunity to research and also be provided some more information from Dr. B. Coates. So Dr. B. Coates is going to speak on this right now, and then we can give a few thoughts, and then we'll come back to this and revisit this again during our education meeting on March 7th. Okay, so Dr. B. Coates, you have the floor.
Thank you. One of the things I just wanted to share is that, our numbers are going down. I know that this is a subject matter that we all may not agree on in terms of what are the next steps, but our numbers are going down. The guidance that we have followed thus far from various organizations are recommending that we consider masks being optional in the district. I have talked with several colleagues or neighboring superintendents in neighboring districts. Most, if not all, of our districts in Delaware County are providing or have shifted their guidance to masks being optional, as well as the DCIU. I believe the last district to make a modification change will go into effect this coming Monday, March the 7th. So it's just something that I think we need to consider, given that believe there was a chart in the presentation that showed that I believe we had 10 cases in the month of February, which is a significant drop from over 100 the previous month. So those are just some things I think to consider. And I do think we have to look at our data and not just Delaware County in and of itself.
Thank you very much, Dr. Biko. Board of Directors, do you have any comments, questions or concerns at this time with information that was given to you that you feel as though you would like to make a public comment at this time?
Ms. Boykins, I just want to make sure I'm clear. The guest that's just spoke, the community person that just spoke,
Mrs. Faber.
I think she said something about changing it altogether, like we're not going to have masks. And I just want to make sure we're clear that we're not saying to remove masks altogether. We are saying optional. Am I correct?
Yes, her suggestion was for us kind of not to change the policy at this time, to kind of leave the policy where it is. She stated that give it about 2 months before we change the policy to go, as we're suggesting, the CDC is suggesting to go optional based off the risk.
But not to remove masks
Yes,
altogether.
not to remove masks.
Okay, I just need that clarity. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, oh, yes, Jen.
Ms. Boykins, I believe the preferred terminology is mask recommended. Is that what they're advising? Most of the change to the health and safety plans that I've seen have said not mask optional, but mask recommended.
In terms of district health and safety plans, that's correct.
Okay.
The CDC did sort of lower its urgency on it. That's what changed on Friday.
Right. So this is just one person's opinion, and I appreciate your leadership, Dr. Because I'd like to wait in a little bit, just a matter of 2 or 3 weeks. Okay to vote on it next week, but that it wouldn't take effect until the end of March or April 1st. I'd like to see how the other school districts do. We were amongst the first adopters of masking. I would love us to be the last to take them on. Just to see how the other districts do. We're sort of in a very unknown given our class size, and I'm hoping that we can help our ventilation by opening the windows if we wait a little bit longer. But that is just one person's opinion.
Thank you, Ms. Holt. Any other board of directors have any comments or concerns that they would like to make at this time?
I would also like to share that I think that some caution is needed at this time. Just because everyone else is doing it doesn't mean that we should. I think that with the number of vaccinations going on in some of our younger students, where they are the ones that transmit the most of the pathogens back and forth, because they don't adhere to all of our cleanliness protocols, that I think we should hold off in implementing. We can vote, but I think we should give it some time, as Jen said, to take a look at the data as it relates to other school districts and how they fare.
Can I just, so everybody's on the same page, can I put Ms. Shako on the spot a little bit? The committee meetings are advertised, right? The education committee meeting has been advertised? Well, just advertised, period, yeah.
No, the one who has not been advertised yet.
Okay.
Once we set them tonight.
Got it. Okay.
They will be.
Any questions?
Let me ask a question. The CDC recommendation would be on like the federal level, right?
Yeah.
So what about Delaware County Health Department? Did they have input? Did they say anything about their recommendation?
They have not made a recommendation.
So
Right now, this is not a focus of theirs right now, and they still have not received, I don't believe, total authorization from the state to actually operate as a health department. It's still in the process.
So that's why we're using Chester County.
Right, but we haven't used Chester County in over a year.
Yeah.
Right, so that's why we're really following the Department of Health of Pennsylvania and CDC.
Yeah. Any other board directors have a comment at this time
On this subject or another?
on this subject? Okay, so I'll just end with my opinion or statement with regard to masking. My opinion is that we always discussed about following the science and following data. And it's very important that we follow the state data and we follow our local data as well. Our local data is showing us containment. Within January, Dr. Bicos had already showed us that there were 10 cases in the month of January. We are on the decline. With regard to containment, that was one of the biggest things that we were concerned about. With recent moves that we've seen with some pharmaceutical companies with regard to not being able to vaccinate the age of 5 and under. I would look at that data as well, because that was something that was brought up with regard to youth vaccination. But the point that I just want to make is that with all the data and information, we always say follow the data, follow the science. The data is telling us what we're doing right with regard to what directions we're going. Cases are getting lower. Infection rates are definitely at an all-time low, especially for our area. So what in my case is, I would say the CDC offered the requirements of saying that areas in high risk, they would suggest or recommend the mask. Area with low risk, and then they talk about a medium risk as well. We are in a low risk category. So with that being said, it will give different people different options based off of the area that you're in. So that will be my recommendation with regard to following the CDC guidelines, because that's how we stated in the beginning that we would follow the CDC recommendations and guidelines. So that's just my opinion at this time. Next, are there any comments or questions that are with regard, well, not comments or questions, but any board members want to give an update of what they've been doing in their community, or any things projects you're working on? Any board directors?
Are you going in order?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Okay.
Yep. All right, you have the floor, Ms. Jordan.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to say thank you to the Delaware County Black Caucus, a few of our community and state leaders, and I hope Ms. Richardson does not mind that I'm speaking on her behalf as well, unless she wants to tell it herself. But I had a wonderful, enjoyable time at the Penwood Middle School Black History event. I can't say much. It was just so uplifting and so rewarding to watch the young people listen to our community leaders, support our students. It just filled my heart to see the cafetorium filled to capacity, and just to see how we work together. I appreciate that they came and did this program. And then also I'm plugging The Lion King, because the students also did an excerpt of the play. They gave us 2 renditions of their songs, and it was just phenomenal. And I want to thank Ms. Jordan as well, because she's doing an awesome job with those children. So if I remember, I think the dates are March 10th, 11th, and 12th. And I'm really encouraging not only my fellow board members, but the community as well. If y'all just take a moment and support our children and attend that Lion King, it would really, 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 really warm your heart. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Joy. Anybody else? Any other board directors? All right, we got Ms. Val. Okay. All right, we'll go with Jen.
I was very happy to be with the special ed department, Dr. Bicos and Ms. Ivory, for the polar plunge. I had not done it before, but I will do it again. And the goal is 20 people. It was amazing. A week later, I got to go to bocce match of William Penn School District students versus Ridley students. That is a PIAA approved sport. So I'm super happy about that. The young folks were amazing. I'm working with my community. I'm getting the word out about the homestead rebate. If you are a homeowner in our district, that lives in that home, please contact Ms. Shaco quickly for that form. I was very happy to be back in the auditorium for our high school play. It had been 2 years, and I was very happy to be back. And lastly, our alumni that are engaged with our military who will be going off to represent in our latest conflict. Peace be with you. Please be safe out there.
Thank you, Ms. Hall. Now, Ms. Valerie Cook Henry.
I just wanted to say that I was glad to be able to have the opportunity to attend the Heights play. It was very well put together, and I had an enjoyable evening. And I wanted to say, stay tuned. And I'm going to be looking for additional support as we move forward to trying to do the prom dress giveaway again this year. So we're trying to go a different avenue. We don't have Macy's, but stay tuned. We're looking to pull that off.
Oh, Mr. Wright, yes?
Yeah, I know I need to say it. I think I started this. So I attended the boys basketball game a couple of weeks ago, and I was very proud to see that they made the state, and it was great. They played a very good game. I think it was one with boys, I think boys Latin. I think they played another team. And right after that, I wound up going to see the Heights. I thought it was well put together. I saw talent in those young people. And then when I read their bio, what really totally impressed me that by participating in these programs, many of them are now thinking about going to New York University for theater. And I believe that's what the programs that we have here should particularly lead to that. And I'm very proud of them that they're doing it. And I saw The Lion King 3 years ago. I still can't get over it. It was a young lady who sung. If you close your eyes, you thought it was the soundtrack from the motion picture. That's how talented she was. And I'm very glad to really hear that Miss Jordan is finally getting the recognition that is due to her. She has been outstanding. Hopefully when I get a little bit better and I won't be on the board, that I really want to devote my time to the arts and to work with Miss Jordan to help her to move to the next level, because she was just fantastic. And finally, I guess the only thing I can mention that there was a appeal filed with the marijuana dispensary that we won, but it's being appealed by the marijuana dispensary. Hopefully we will win at the end, but we did win the first. So it's like one individual I talked to was like David fighting Goliath.
Okay.
But David is still in the fight.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Wright, for that update. I just wanted to, even though our girls team didn't make it too far, I want to congratulate our girls team and our boys team. I had a basketball team. Obviously, had the opportunity to go out and visit some games definitely before the girls' season was over, and for the boys season is still succeeding and moving forward. But I just want to congratulate them and say, you know, anyone that's playing sports right now, it takes a lot of resilience. It takes a lot of toughness. It takes a lot of dedication and consistency, and also discipline. Those things are very hard for athletes to do at this time in the times that we're in. So I just want to congratulate you on that. And one project that I'm currently working on also with Ms. Hopkins as well. We would like to beautify the garden that we have in the middle of the school. When I was in school, Mrs. Scaleri used to take care of the fountain and the greenery and everything that was around there. So there were a couple of mentees in ICU, which is the mentoring group that Ms. Val has. They came out and they said, we would like to beautify that area, the garden area. So Ms. Hopkins and I are looking for people in the community that are interested in gardening and helping beautify that area. So all community members, if you're out there, your hearers, or even teachers that want to help with a beautifying project to make our garden back to what it used to be and get it up and running and actually have live fish in the pond. If any alumni remember that, we used to go out and feed the fish from the school area. So if we can get it going, we would love to do that. So that is a project that we, Ms. Hopkins and I are currently working on. And I want to also add in Ms. Richardson will be working on the uniform give back to collect old, gently used uniforms. So that will be coming up as well. Are there?
I
Yes.
just wanted to say that I did give some to the middle school. I met with Miss Guy, and I did give some. And also, I did attend Penwood Middle School Rochester Day, and the rendition of the Lion King was phenomenal. I also, on the Homestead Act, I don't know, I'm coming out of church on Sunday. I have a line of people. What about the Homestead Act? Where can I get information? And only by word of mouth. I don't know if there's something that can be sent out to them.
Jen gave us a flyer that we can give out to our community members. And also, I believe, did Jeff, you follow up with a flyer too?
So I think that the deadline is March 1st.
Oh, okay.
So I think a lot of your approaching the deadline, so it doesn't get to the county by tomorrow.
Yeah.
Then to go to the next cycle.
Okay. So maybe we can get ahead of that for, as time comes, we can have an educational class on that to tell more community members about it.
Because a lot of taxpayers have it, but they don't know it. When you say, you get a reduction, they don't see. I think it's outlined there, the amount.
Actually, no, a lot of people can go on the county website and check it themselves. It'll state it on there, it's up there. A lot of the calls we receive where people are actually on there, they just don't realize it. So they can actually go there and check it, but yeah, it's available.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for that. And are there any other comments? Okay, Mr. Wright, yes.
Well, to keep it on the spirituality, I first of all like to thank the individuals who organized this fellowship today. I was elated to be here, and I saw everybody smiling. I think we need to continue that because we're in a troubled society today, and I think we just needed to continue to smile. And today, I want to thank the people who organized it, put a smile on my face. Thank you.
You're welcome, Mr. Wright. You're welcome, Mr. Wright. That's how we want to do it. So with that being said, I would make a motion for the meeting to be adjourned. Second. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Oh, my apologies. I'm sorry. My apologies. I forgot. My apologies. Future meeting. Property committee meeting. That is going to be on Wednesday, March 2nd at 6:30. Policy committee meeting, March 3rd, 6:30. Education meeting is March 9th at 6:30. A budget advisory committee meeting. This is also not saying our other ones are not important, but I just want everyone to know our budget advisory committee meeting is very important. So please attend. That is March 17th, 6:30. The next meeting of the Committee of the Wholes will be March 21st at 6:30. And the next board business meeting is March 28th at 6:30 here. And also our personnel committee meeting will be March 29th at 6:30 as well. If there's no further comments or questions, we will move to close our meeting.
So move.
Second, thank you. Everyone have a great night.